What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into the voice of college football's Miami post-game show. That was an absolute outstanding game. I don't even know how to feel about it after totally dragging our little sisters, White Tonto, through the mud for 4 quarters of football. We took them down, what was it, 45-3, I think. We totally demolished them.
Yeah, man, it was a repeat of 2018.
I know. I can't even like get over it. I'm so ecstatic. It's so great. I actually cheers, guys. What's up, Alex and Slim? How you doing tonight?
That stadium was electric tonight, dude. That was probably the best environment I've ever been in.
Oh, yeah. Was it? Tell us about it. Were the fans just so happy about that big win?
I mean, FSU fans started leaving after halftime, and I swear, walking up the aisle, every single Miami fan was giving a punch to the face.
That great, huh?
Nice little jab.
That great, huh? That great.
To rub it in even more.
What about you, Slim? What do you think about that glorious just curb stomping of our little sister?
Well, hopefully it's finally shattered their egos enough. We can hear no more about the Florida State making the playoffs, because after Florida State taking an embarrassing loss like that, I mean, who would even think that's such a thing?
I mean, Slim, does Mike Norvell get fired after this?
Probably should be.
I think they should be looking into that. So can we all just admit to the fact that we absolutely suck? I mean,
oh, what are you talking about? We're going to win the national championship this year.
Oh yeah, 723 and 5. We are on a roll. We are on a roll.
I mean,
next
if
week,
LSU beat Bama, why can't we?
Exactly. I just can't wait. What do we have, about 7 to 8 more weeks until we're back, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I can think. I mean, that's right around the corner, guys. So anybody out there that is not an optimistic Miami fan and is feeling bad right now, whether you're drowning your sorrows or, more like I like to do, teach them how to swim. Anybody, just know 7 weeks is all you got left of this misery. 7 weeks, that's no time at all. I mean, your rent's due every 8 weeks, and you know how fast that comes. So 7 weeks, guys, 7 weeks. We're good to go.
We're back.
Yeah, 7 weeks, we're back. What's up? Let's look at this chat here. Just jumping in. I'll scroll through. Thanks everybody for being here.
Workforce,
Dominique
out there, I can't say.
Workforce. I just
look
trying
at
to read.
Look at it, yeah.
Well, I don't know. He's got a whole bunch of them. Which one? I'm not sure. He's got a lot.
Don't highlight it. It has an R word in it.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely won't highlight. I'm not even sure what that is. And what's up, True Seminole? Thanks for coming by to gloat, my friend. You are my friend either way, even if you are my little sister. But yeah, you might have bested us today, but soon, buddy, soon. In 7 weeks, I'm going to start. Well, I'll start talking smack again tomorrow, but actually, it might be tomorrow. Are we there yet? Is this day over? 11 minutes, True Seminole. 11 minutes, you got to gloat. This is your time. This is your 11 minutes. You're already 4 into your 15 of fame. So, James Scott, thanks for being here too. Ray Edwards, thanks a lot, everybody, for stopping in. Carroll City, Kane 305, thanks for being here too, man. So, what do you think, Alex? Like, let's hear it like the honest. You were at the game, so let's hear it.
Yeah, I was at the game.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, tailgate was fun. That was fun. Say that.
Did you meet it with Coop?
No, I was kind of in my own little area playing dominoes. Yo, if my brother's listening, I fucking shit on him in dominoes. I kicked his ass.
So now we're flexing in dominoes.
I was the Florida State of dominoes. That's how good I was.
So tell us about the stadium, really, like, give us a rundown.
Okay. Yeah, I got in there, and it was about 70-75% Miami fans, and I sit behind the FSU sideline, so I'm surrounded by a lot of them, and they would try to do that stupid little chop, because they were trying to do it themselves, because they're so broke they couldn't even afford to bring their band down. But whatever, that's another thing. And the Miami fans would respond back with the fuck you Seminoles, just with that back, and it was loud. It was really loud in there. It seemed like we got that 3 and out to start the game, and that place like damn near exploded. But by the end of the first quarter, it was about as quiet as the COVID stadium. Yeah. And then at halftime, I come out, and half the Miami fans left. So that was great. Yeah, and I left after the Jacurri bad snap went through his legs, and FSU recovered it. Because
that was
team,
like a
if
Laurel and Hardy skit.
If we could pull that play up and play the Benny Hill music, that'd be great.
Right. Oh, exactly. That's awesome. So you probably left with most everybody else, right?
Yeah, I mean, I live 45 minutes from the stadium, and I'm here on my computer doing this. Normally, I'm in the car. That's how early I left. I was able to get out just fine.
And sorry to everybody if we kept you waiting. We were a little bit late because we got talking before we went live, and then we realized we hadn't gone live. So our apologies to that.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Hey, TK, thanks for stopping in.
Anyways,
who else? Hey, Peanut's back.
Let me set
What's up,
Slim
Peanut?
off real quick. Let me set Slim off real quick. Hey, Slim, Josh Gaddis sucks. Do your thing, bro. Go ahead. I mean, I know we're already going to talk about it. Might as well say it.
Well, as if we needed any more evidence of poor play versus poor coaching. Because I swear, and I think I'm starting to see the lump on Josh Gaddis's head from him constantly banging his head against a concrete wall. Because I'm starting to think it's more effective to do that than it is to talk to some of these players. I mean, it like what you brought up, that fumbled snap, 2 pass interferences that kept drives alive for Florida State.
Yep.
You're out there killing yourself.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I saw people saying something where it was like, why do we keep running it up the gut? We don't have the blockers. And it's like, dude, you just want to run like sweeps and tosses outside every time? Like, they're just going to adapt to that too. You have to run it up the middle, and like this is basic football. Like, you have to be able to run it up the middle. If you can't, that's not on coaching. That's not bad. It's 3rd and 2. What do you want to do? Take a deep shot? Of course you got to try to run it up the middle.
As a matter of fact, they did try a few sweeps, and wide receivers didn't block their guys.
Well, now, do you think that might be because Gaddis listened to the replay of our show last week?
Oh, I'm absolutely certain Josh Gaddis and Mario both are listening right now.
Yeah, probably. So they were like, Slim brought up the sweep. What happened to the sweep? And they tried it, but, it's their fault for not practicing it.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Right, sweep the leg.
Put him in a body bag.
Well, I mean, but it kind of proves the point as to, and we talked about this last week, why they're not doing it. The wide receivers aren't blocking because it got absolutely blown up when they did it.
Hey, guys, let me jump in real quick. We missed a super chat a while back, and I just want to give a special thanks to a MDB 2006 with the $4.99 super chat. This actually came in before we started, so thanks a lot for supporting us. Like, we weren't even going to come on, and then we saw, hey, somebody actually cared enough to be here, and we saw you, so thanks a lot. He says a lot of things were horrific that game. Gaddis can't come back next year. Here you go, Slim. Swallow your pride, Mario, and make the right decision for this team. MDB,
yes,
thank you so much, my friend.
Slim had the gun, and MDB just gave him the ammo. Take it away, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for loading Slim's gun.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you. Unless he gets a head coaching job somewhere in the offseason, Josh Gaddis will be back next year. You can't look at that offensive line play. You can't look at pass protection from running backs, tight ends, or run blocking from wide receivers and blame a bit of that on the coaches.
Now I don't know. I'm starting to hope that Marshall hires him as their head coach next year.
And he might. But
of course, it would be Marshall.
According to the fan base, we just have to bring in Mike Leach, and all our problems are solved.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, speaking of Mike Leach, another game that's going on today. You realize Mike Leach had like a 33-6 lead, and Auburn tied it up. Auburn. You realize how fucking terrible Auburn is, right? Okay, that Auburn's so bad they make Miami look like a playoff team.
Can we get that as a bowl game?
So absolutely, let's bring in Sasquatch out of the Northeast. And
I mean, Rhett Lashley put up 77 points today on Houston.
Well, he's fine. They're starting to get something going towards the end of the year, but he has not looked great this year. That's another guy that's calling his own plays.
Hey, workforce freebie says Gaddis must drink 50 liters of whiskey after every game. Well, welcome to the club, Gaddis.
Right?
Do you think Gaddis is going into the locker room tonight like he did a few games ago, just telling the team that they're trash?
He needs to. And you know what? I got a whole new level of respect for Gaddis for doing that.
Yeah, let's just hope his mom doesn't tweet about it again.
Yeah, tweet about it. I don't care. Facts don't care about your feelings, ma'am. So get mad about it all you want, lady. It doesn't make a difference. Your son is out there supposed to be creating separation from DBs, and he's not doing it.
Yeah, we just. I mean, our team is basically we're atrocious at this point. I mean, there's nothing clicking. It's horrible to watch.
How did we ever expect this team to win 9 games?
Because with the talent level they have, they should. But their effort level isn't matching their talent level.
I mean, this is Florida State, bro. This is the game you got to get up for. Like, even Manny's guys that would start games slow, they would at least get up for Florida State. And we didn't even do that.
Well, these are Manny's guys. So I mean I really do think it is they don't like Mario. They don't.
I think some of them don't. You're absolutely right. And I brought this point up. I'm pretty sure I brought it up on this show last week, but if I didn't, I'm fixing to say it again. Because I absolutely think, including the recruiting class, I think you may see this roster turn over as many as 40 guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. And even like Rooster, you know, we saw like Alex, you sent me a text last Saturday night, like right after we went off the stream, and he had entered the transfer portal, and you could see him out there tonight.
But like that was like premature. It was like it was this weird thing where it was like he was kind of thinking about entering, but then he kind of like it was weird. I'm not.
Man,
so he didn't.
No, he didn't. Streeter heard it from somebody and posted it to Twitter.
Okay. So I never thought anymore. I never looked back. I was like, okay, cool. He's entered. Even tonight, though, you could see he was playing sloppy, like with some, pushing and shoving and doing the whole.
Well, I don't have a problem with that because this game actually tends to get chippy every year.
No, I was hoping for a fight, but
I've got to compliment Rooster because he got to going. Now, granted, it ended on that drive with the bad snap that he was talking about.
Benny Hill moment?
But I mean, you started to see some flashes of the Rooster of old. I mean, he broke off that 45-yard run.
I thought he was going to take that to the house for a second.
Man, and if he was able to juke one guy, that last guy that got him, props to him. I mean, he held on to the ball, and I mean, he ran hard even when the score, was as lopsided as it was. I mean, we ragged on him. We got to give him credit when he does good.
Yeah, Slim.
Hey, what's up, Kyle? Thanks for stopping by. And
Slim, I know you like to talk about putting the whole baby to bed with Jake Garcia being better than TVD, but Jacoby Brown's better than Jake. Jake threw 2 passes completed one for 1 yard, and the other one was a pick.
So does Jake Garcia? What's up with him? I mean,
Well, and I saw a comment earlier from, I believe it was somebody named Tim, asked what was going on with them putting in Jakuri, what was going on with Jake, and I was going to bring up the exact point you did. He was 2 for 2, but one of them was to the other team. I mean, how many picks do you need to see out of this guy? Something's not computing with Jake Garcia.
He's out of here.
Well, and I think too, like, to their defense, not to be like, somebody to comment here in a minute is going to go, there it is, the excuses. Like I'm not doing that, but our O-line
is bad, and then our best, most consistent offensive lineman goes down in this game. So I mean, the injury bug has not helped them this year. It has not been their friend.
There's not even much to say.
Same things every week.
Well, I mean,
we suck. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We suck.
When it comes to things like injuries, people want to say, "Oh, you're just making excuses." Well, I mean, it's a fact of the game, and you're down now 4 starting offensive linemen, and in some places you're down to your 3rd string offensive lineman. So you're taking what isn't a good line to begin with, and now you're starting to have to put in start 2nd and 3rd stringers, and you're just seeing that offensive line get worse.
Also,
and that's
Luke
something
Walker, we're not missing Corey Gaynor. And just been an injured position. Please stop.
And see, Tim, I think this was the same guy you were talking about, Slim. Tim says we should have given Lane the bag, but see, I would have loved to have had Lane Kiffin as a coach, but the big thing that scared me about him was it would be just another of the same thing. He'd have came in here for 3 years, 2 years, and then he'd have left for the next best place.
Yeah, man.
And we'd be right back into the.
He would have come in here. We would have had some fun. We definitely wouldn't be. What are we now? 4-5, below 500 again, right?
Well,
oh yeah.
Here's the problem with Lane. Didn't he just struggle against the same bad Texas A&M team that we struggled against?
Yeah, it would have been a fun ride, but he'd have been here for 2 years, and it would have been the same Miami with a new coach every 2, 3, 4 years.
Retires, and then he maybe goes to Bama or something with the NFL calls him up again. Who knows with Lane?
I'm going to take this even a step further for the people that want to criticize Mario's record. Lane's is worse by a long shot.
Yeah, I'm just the asshole kind of guy, so I kind of like Lane Kiffin. But
let's not forget, this is the same Lane Kiffin that USC literally left sitting on the tarmac and refused to let him ride home on the team plane. Okay, he's been terrible and gotten job after job based off. Now, I have no criticism whatsoever of Lane Kiffin, the offensive coordinator. I got loads for Lane Kiffin, the head coach. I don't think he's a good head coach. I think he's
kind
one
of
those
like
guys that's a better coordinator.
Kind of like Manny Diaz. Like, he was a really good defensive coordinator at Miami for quite a few years. He was horrible as a head coach.
Oh, yeah,
well, I think there's
DC. He was really good. Yeah,
I think there's a big difference. Lane Kiffin's had like 6 head coaching jobs.
Also, Carroll said, Mario's 65 and 64, but that's including those FIU years where they couldn't even afford a plane to get to away games.
Dude, he took over an 0-12 FIU team. So
please stop. Can we stop with this overall record? Look at his Oregon record. Look at how he took over Oregon and what he built them up to. All the players at Oregon now, everyone wants to talk about how good Oregon's doing this year. These are Mario's guys. So can we please stop with this whole thing of Mario isn't the guy after 9 games? Like, please. Jimmy Johnson, his first year, lost to FSU and got blown out. Jimmy Johnson took a national championship team and went 8-5 with them.
But he beat Bo Jackson.
Yeah?
Yeah, but...
So are you saying FSU don't know diddly?
I at this point I find a lot of it comical because, and Workforce Freebie has said it earlier in the comments section, exactly what I keep saying. Yeah, go ahead, fire everybody. You're going to be exactly where you're at.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we're in the position we're in.
Yeah, we're just gonna bring in another guy from Temple because that's worked out the previous 78 times.
Yeah, Temple. Earlier, I made a joke about going to Marshall. I meant Temple. Thank you for saying Temple.
Hey, let's just bring Al Golden back. Let's do that.
I actually don't think that was a bad hire originally. I really don't.
Let's
not for Al Golden. But
I actually got to meet him at a game.
Well, let's not forget cool. he was here. I mean, literally the day after they hired him was when the whole Nevin Shapiro thing broke. Well, they investigated that for 2.5 years. He can't recruit while that's going on because everybody's using it against him. And then and then a year and a half later, once it was over, they got rid of him. So they literally gave him a year and a half without the NCAA, parked at his back door.
Yeah, he got screwed. He took a job. I remember when he took it, we were like, they were talking about, Miami. Well, I mean, even wasn't that when they were wanting to bring on the death penalty again?
No, the media talked about it, but they're right.
Well, yeah, the people.
It was never an actual consideration from the NCAA.
Right, but that was when everybody was talking about it, and the Miami hate. That was in. No, Kyle, thank you for being here, my friend. And like I said before, every one of you, especially the two guys up here on panel with me, there is nobody else in this world who I would rather hang out with after we lose than all of you.
Misery enjoys company.
And as much as we're griping on the players, I can only put so much on them because with the amount of instability, I mean, can you really blame some guys that have checked out at this point? And with what I'm sure is going from the most relaxed environment possible, because everybody knew how Manny was, to, I mean, let's call it what it is. I think we're all fairly certain that Mario probably runs almost a drill instructor type mentality. To say that's going to cause some friction with players would be an underestimation.
Yeah, especially players that were used to hanging out with their friend.
Yeah.
Hey, Manny, you want to get some ice cream after practice?
Tim, my guess for that, and obviously none of us talk to Mario on a regular basis, so we can't know for sure.
I like this comment the best.
What are you talking about? Mario's my boy. Oh, you guys are idiots. Oh, thank you.
I like PF's comment the best. You guys are idiots. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. Hey, my name is I can take your comment off and put it back up. But traveling fool. So I am a self-proclaimed fool, my friend PF. And thank you very much for tuning in and hanging out with a bunch of other idiots. Because I'm pretty sure
IQ of like 37 between the three of us.
Yeah. We love you too, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. I love the comment, honestly.
But my opinion with
I'll leave it up for a minute.
Is why they went with Jacurri over Jake, because they've seen Jake at this point. They've seen what they're going to get, and that's now 5 interceptions.
Yeah, wait, how many picks does he have in the year? Because I think is it more than 5?
Yeah, keep it going. I'll be right back.
I think the number's at 4, but remember one of them got overturned on review.
It says he's at 3. He's at 4. But remember, last week in overtime, he threw a pick, but it's on a 2-point conversion, so it doesn't count.
That's right. That one. Well, hell, that would be 6.
Jakey.
James Hennessy, thank you, sir, for the $2 donation. He was asking if Jacurri Brown is. If TBD's not there, I'm starting to wonder whether or not Van Dyke's going to come back.
I saw an interesting tweet go out where it was TBD's obviously injured. Should we just ride with Jacurri Brown for the rest of the year? And I say, yes, we've seen what we're gonna get from Jake in this offense, and honestly, I just think he's gonna transfer out. I don't see him staying here. And if we're gonna run with Ja'Cory as the future, because he is the future, go through the growing pains now. Just do it now.
Well, you're looking at that from a fan perspective. They're going to look at it from right now. Tyler Van Dyke is a better quarterback than Ja'Cory Brown. It just is what it is.
I'm saying for the rest of the season, if TVD's injured, if TVD's healthy, yeah, start it. This is a scenario where TVD's injured and you got to start either Jake or Ja'Cory. Just put in Ja'Cory, man.
I mean, yeah, out of the two, he's definitely looking more effective.
Yeah, this was in a scenario where TVD is injured, and honestly,
now that's not to say, yeah. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, Van Dyke goes on to the NFL, and you're looking at Jake and Ja'Cory. I'm sure both of them are going to get a fair shot in the offseason.
As they should.
And whichever one looks better will get the start. Now, if we do hear, if we hear in the summer that Jake is transferring out, then we know we already know whether or not they say that Ja'Cory's won the job. But I'm not going to necessarily say that he will, because you see guys all the time don't get starting jobs. They stick around and fight for it. And if he does, props to him.
I'm just sitting over here listening to you guys and having fun reading this chat.
I do want to give
a pretty funny comment there.
Actually. Oh wait, we did miss a super chat here.
No, we read it.
Oh, you got okay, cool. I had to step away and stir some paint for a moment.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out
James
to True Seminole. Congratulations to Florida State. You are bowl eligible for the first time in like the last 4 or 5 years.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Congrats to our little sister.
You know what? Miami's going to be back in 7 weeks, but right now, FSU's back. They're back. They made a bowl game, guys. They did it.
That's pretty sweet. No, I mean, hats off though to the FSU fans and the team itself. They did kick our ass, so
No, give them no credit.
Oh man,
refs stole the game. The refs stole the game.
I'm that way with Florida. I got respect for Florida State.
I do too. I've got respect for both of them. Just I've watched the rivalries go on so long in my life that and I've got so many friends that are fans of those teams. But congrats to them.
I mean, workforce is absolutely right. Every time we fire somebody and then rehire somebody, we're starting the cycle all over again. And for some reason, people are just bound and determined to. I need people. Here's a great idea. Go look up the definition of insanity.
What's that, Slim? I don't think Miami fans have heard of it.
Well, we're going to learn something today, boys and girls. The definition of insanity is repeating something over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome.
Interesting.
Hey, thanks again, James Hennessy, with another $2 super chat. He says Jason Taylor's son won the LSU game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We appreciate you being here, man. Thanks. And I'm glad. I was happy to see LSU beat Alabama. That was a cool ending.
It's going to be pretty interesting to see that they're not going to be in the playoff this year.
Now,
Alabama's done.
Somebody made a comment about, why would recruits still come here? But for the same reason recruits, came here. Let's not forget, Manny pulled in. Manny was able to pull in a top 15 class after going 6-6, and Mario's one of, if not the best recruiter in the country.
Yeah. Let me just read something to you, Slim, real quick. This is a tweet from Malik Bryant immediately after the FSU game, or like during it while we're in the middle of getting blown out. He's at the game, I think, and he says, "Class of 23 and 24. This should motivate y'all. Let's effing go, man." That's the mindset of these guys coming in, because we said it before. Mario is not a bullshitter. He's not a bullshit artist. He's not going to come in here lying. He didn't come in here lying and say, "Yeah, we're going to immediately compete for a national championship this year." And he said it. I've said this, where if you pay attention to what Mario was saying, he was never promising an ACC championship. He was never promising a national championship right now. The words that were coming out of his mouth were rebuild, culture shift. And that's something that takes time. And I'm really not like, am I upset that we lost to Florida State and they just smacked us around like a prison hoe? Yeah, I am. But you know what? I'm not worried, because this is the same guy that won 2 Pac-12 titles and a Rose Bowl at Oregon after they were 4-8.
No, well, minor correction. 52-10 is getting smacked around like a prison bitch.
I'd say we got smacked around like a prison bitch, but they just kind of toned it down.
I mean, how long has it been since we have scored a touchdown?
Body, and they said, "Yeah, we're just gonna stop. We feel bad at this point."
Alex, how long has it been since we have scored a touchdown?
I did the math.
I know you did.
9 quarters.
And how many minutes was that?
Ooh, let me pull up my little calculator.
135.
135 minutes.
You needed a calculator for that?
Yeah, well, this dude said it, man. We're dumb. We're idiots.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe I can find that comment. I can highlight it again,
We
just
are
for anybody
idiots.
who missed it. If you didn't get the memo, we are idiots.
Well, and there's also,
we have gone the length of a feature film without scoring a touchdown.
I think people also have to look at what goes on in college football. For instance, we're bad. Texas A&M is bad. Texas A&M has people leaving left and right, has decommits left and right. We don't have anybody leaving yet, and no commits have decommitted. But look at that 3-game losing skid to Florida State. They had decommits. Look at Florida's season; they've got decommits. Not all things are equal.
Hold up. Dave, I just got to address this, because this guy's talking so much shit out of his ass. Dave Portnoy. I don't know if this is the Barstool guy. I doubt that at 12:18 on a Friday he'd be listening to.
It's not Dave Portnoy.
No.
Well, it's David Portnoy. Sorry. Yeah. So David Portnoy, ask Oregon fans how happy they are that Cristobal is gone. Dude, I remember when there was talks about maybe Cristobal leaving, and they loved Mario. They're just rewriting history because he left.
Yeah,
and
when there was
Dan
talk
Manning
about
came in there with the cupboard full, and he's playing in the weak ass Pac-12, barely escaping mediocre teams. Yeah, he's blown out a few teams, but guess what? He almost lost to freaking Arizona State and the water boy Nesta Silvera.
Well, let's also
Georgia.
Let's also not forget Oregon fans were talking about throwing Mario the bag to keep him. Not only when there was talks about him coming to Miami, but when there was also talks about him being the heir apparent to Nick Saban. They were like, they literally, Oregon fans were tweeting at Phil Knight to pay whatever he wanted for him to stay.
Oregon, when Mario left, was that chick we all knew that her boyfriend broke up with her, and then now she started calling him toxic. That's what Oregon fans were. Oh, wait, that's what they are.
Yeah, they go back now and they're like, "Yeah, you're doing bad. See, and we got the great." Yeah. Now they're talking out of their asses. But yeah. Mario is a really good recruiter, and you see what Oregon's doing now with what Mario recruited. So, we'll see. Only time will tell. All of this is going to get figured out. In 7 weeks, we are going to be back on top. It's the off season. We're going to rule the college football world. And
here's something else that I don't think people are taking into account. Obviously, offensive line is the worst spot of this offense. Guess what? Unless you bring in transfers, you're looking at 2 years before recruits are ready to play. You don't come in a true freshman unless it's some kind of dire circumstance and play a true freshman offensive lineman. That's a position you physically have to grow into.
I mean, honestly, this year we're lucky to go 6-6. Next year, bro, I swear to God, I better not hear anything during the offseason where it's like 10-2, 11. Please shut up. Please stop doing it to yourselves. I'm asking as a favor, stop doing it to yourself. Next year, if we go 8-4, I'll be happy. This is a slow build, guys. We had a culture here before of complacency and basically being a summer camp, like I've said multiple times. We're not going to be seriously competing for really like on a national championship level until 25, maybe 26. Okay.
God, I really hope I live that long.
And some of your habits, it's not looking too good, but
Thanks, my friend.
I'm just being honest. Like, because like I just said,
got that freaking Grim Reaper over here hosting the show with me. Damn. Just heard that. All right, Slim, you're coming up here hanging out next to me. I'm putting that guy down there at the bottom. He freaking calling for my head. Yeah, all right.
I'll sign you up for life insurance. But yeah, like I said, Mario said the goal was to win the ACC Coastal and get to the hold on, Portnoy. How am I delusional? I'm saying we're trash. I admit that we're trash, and I'm telling people to lower their expectations for next year because I know what's going to happen. The Twitter spaces are going to crop up next year, being Miami 12-0. How bad? We're gonna get to the ACC championship. How bad are we gonna beat down our opponent?
Dude, he's just trying to get under your skin.
No, it's just like
it's a faceless, nameless person behind a keyboard. He's just trying to get under your skin. Everybody's seen it. Everybody knows how it is.
I'm
just
got a little bit of drink in me. Daryl
Page brings up a good point, talking about Georgia's O-line, and one of the reasons Kirby was able to have success early is because offensive line wasn't the problem at Georgia when he got there. I mean, offensive line has been Miami's problem going back to when Brad Kaya was quarterback. Don't forget, Brad Kaya didn't leave because of Mark Richt, even though people that didn't like Mark Richt said so. Brad Kaya left after year 3 because he had been sacked almost 150 times.
I liked Brad Kaya.
Oh, I was a fan. He was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, those
Isn't
years
it funny to look back that we were actually having better times back then, though?
Dude, Al Golden was taking elite FSU teams down to the wire.
Yeah. Let's not forget. As trash as
when we used to, back in the olden days, when we used to score touchdowns.
for all the complaining people do about Al Golden, under Al Golden we had the leading passer and leading rusher in Miami history.
And he had cool ties, man.
Duke Johnson's the leading rusher in Miami history, and Brad Kaya's leading passer.
Shut up, Brad. I don't want to hear another word about Al Golden's ties. That just gives me PTSD, man.
I'm going to go upstairs. I got a picture of me and Al Golden together, man. And I don't have a tie on, but he did.
No, y'all were wearing matching ties. I've seen the picture.
Well, yeah, but mine wasn't around my neck. But just making jokes. Just jokes. Kind of like our football team.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, it's pretty bad. We really got a lot of stuff to straighten out. 7 weeks, guys. 7 weeks.
Get the banner ready.
So, Slim, let me ask you this, because we are going to the Clemson game together in, 2 weeks?
Yep.
Yeah.
So after their devastating loss to Rudy tonight, do we have a chance?
So you're saying there's a chance?
So are you saying there's a chance?
Well, I've watched that movie any given Sunday, so apparently anybody's got a chance in any game. Or well, at least Al Pacino told me so. But
Can we get him as coach? Willie Beeman at quarterback.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Jamie Foxx ain't no spring chicken.
I don't care how bad we suck. I'm still excited as hell to go to, what do they call it? Howard's Rock? Isn't that the name of it?
Well, no, that's the fossilized dinosaur turd that they rub before they run on the field.
Okay. What's the name of the stadium?
Death Valley.
Yeah, I know they call it Death Valley. That's all I know.
I thought that was LSU. I thought that was LSU.
Well, they both claim the name Death Valley.
Where's Pete to get mad and yell at me right now? That was a shot at Pete. I know he's not listening, but
both Death Valley and both the Tigers. Talk about originality, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, Clemson thinks theirs is real because apparently Howard's Rock came from Death Valley. So whatever.
Yeah, talk about.
Well, coming up, actually, Pigskin Pete just stopped in. He called me on my phone, and he was talking about we could ask Pigskin Pete what he thinks about the game. What do you think about that, Slim? So Pete, I mean, what do you think your chances are about winning against Miami?
There's a lot of excitement right now down in Coral Gables, and there should be. And like I just mentioned on my Notre Dame game preview, this is a game that Clemson could lose.
I couldn't agree more with you, Pete. Ah, shit, we just lost Pete. He's gone again.
Oh. Bye, Pete.
You're going to pay for that one. I got a feeling you're going to end up paying for that one.
I've got them all saved, man. I've got them all saved. But you know me, Slim. I just talk trash. But there are some people out there in this world dumb enough to take me seriously. So cheers to all of you.
On the show?
Well, those were the same people that said we were going 11-1 this year.
Oh, exactly.
Because they're the ones that thought your record prediction was real, that we were going to go 136-0.
Oh yeah, I got all the way up to 300 and something before the season started, and people were telling me I was delusional. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm predicting 300 and something to 0. Yeah, okay, you're taking me seriously. You are an absolute moron. James Hennessy, thanks for the $2. Chances of a bowl.
I'm really upset my 69-0 prediction didn't work out tonight.
I know, man. I know.
Well, we've got Georgia Tech, Pitt, and Clemson left.
We'd be lucky to combine for 69 points over those next 3 games.
Okay. Call me an idiot once again, but what do we have? 4 wins now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got Georgia Tech.
We got to win 2
Clemson.
out of 3 to make a bowl game.
Yeah, but it's Georgia Tech, Clemson, and Pitt to make a bowl.
Clemson doesn't stand a goddamn chance.
No, I mean the Clemson's a given, so we have that one.
Right,
but so we have to worry
Georgia Tech's
about
a loss.
Georgia Tech, and
Pitt's
Pitt.
a good fight.
So I think we next weekend we lose to Georgia Tech, but then of course we're gonna just curb stomp Clemson because they're absolute trash.
One. That's the 69-0 one.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that can't decide. They got 3 quarterbacks and they all suck, and they can't decide which one to use, so they run them all in and out.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Pitt, we'll see what happens. It's a coin toss. It's a coin toss at the end.
We might finish 7-5, boys. Watch out. That might be good enough for the playoff.
Well, Rocky Top Kane, I mean, you're half right. Yeah, he doesn't put all the mess on Twitter. He finally did away with that stupid chain, thank God.
What are you talking about? It was so cool.
Yeah.
Did you put it back on?
It was
My
for the
friend
first
had it
year or
on. He
two.
almost threw it in the trash.
But as far as game plan and development, they have plenty of game plans. They're just yet to come up with one that this team can execute at a proficient level. I mean, how many times do you need to see this team get stopped on 4th and 1 to realize, oh, we have an execution problem, not a play calling problem?
No, Slim,
And
you should just run 4
they've
verts
tried
on 4th and 1.
everything. They have tried everything under the sun. You don't see quarterback sneaks in football ever anymore. And they even tried that. They have tried throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at this team, and they can't seem to execute any of it.
No, it doesn't matter what play they call. It doesn't work.
I mean, to quote Brian Kelly, I'm a big fan of execution, and I believe our whole team should be executed after tonight.
I told you guys we got the Grim Reaper joining us. That's why I moved.
Hey, no, Brian Kelly said it. Brian Kelly said it, not me.
Now here, you know what? I'll throw a little bone to the people that are mad at all the coaches, because some of this obviously goes without saying. Some of it does fall on the coaches, but Mario and Gaddis both. It should have been abundantly clear before the game that Van Dyke wasn't ready to play. I don't know why they put him in there.
Yeah.
He never should have been put in that game. And you really risk getting him further injured by doing so.
He did get further injured.
We'll see.
Rocky Top Kane's got a question here. So, honest question, he says, who had the better roster for their first year coach? Duke, LSU, or Miami?
Why is this even a question? Duke.
Well, no, I'll give him an honest answer. LSU has a better roster than us.
I would say so too. Yeah.
Miami, out of those three, Miami's got the second best roster, and Duke has the third best roster. Now, here's where you come into a difference. To say Mario's a better head coach than Brian Kelly would be foolish. Brian Kelly has over a decade of Power 5 equivalent experience. So obviously he's better. I don't think anybody would make that argument. Miami, like we brought up ad nauseum, is a continuous, is a merry-go-round of coaches. Around and around we go again. And David Cutcliffe had been Duke's head coach for, about 10 years? They had some pretty good consistency there. And that can sure lead to your team playing better than they should.
James Hennessy with another $5 super chat. Thanks so much, James. Thanks for supporting the channel, man, and thanks for being here. Jimmy Johnson lost to FSU 38-3. Does that mean Mario will be better? Maybe. Touchdown to Jimmy. Yeah, hopefully so.
Maybe.
I hope so.
I like Jimmy Johnson, man. He's a cool guy. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times in the Keys, and he's actually a really cool guy. If you're ever down in Key Largo, check out his restaurant called The Big Chill. He's got a restaurant there called The Big Chill in Key Largo. It's actually a really cool place. Live music every night, good eats, and all that jazz. And we just plugged Jimmy Johnson, so we will send you the bill, Jimmy. Thank you very much.
Did we just get sponsored by Jimmy Johnson?
I think we did. He owes us money now, so
he's got plenty of it with all that Viagra money.
Hey, Mark, if you're watching this, edit this part out.
Sorry, Mark, but I just picked you up. Jimmy Johnson is a sponsor, so sorry, Jimmy Johnson. Next time I'm at the Big Chill, I'm going to tell you to bring back the old happy hour specials, because lately those specials have gone to crap. So you need to make the Big Chill. You need to get in there. And actually, I have one very big argument with Jimmy Johnson, just because I know Jimmy Johnson is listening. I actually got in an argument the last time I was there, which was about, well, it was one of the last games of last season, and they weren't playing the Miami game on the TV at Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. And so I was kind of mad about this, and they were like, no, we're under, the rules are we have to play this game, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm at Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. Can I not watch the Miami? And they put it on this teeny little TV over in the corner for me. It was kind of pathetic. There's my vent. Sorry. You still owe us $42,000, Jimmy Johnson, for the plug.
You know what? A lot of people have some hard truths.
Super Bowl ad?
Right. People have trouble dealing with hard truths. And here's a hard truth that I think Miami fans need to learn to deal with. This team is obviously, despite all the talent, in worse shape than anybody thought it was. I think there's, much like FSU had their problems after Jimbo and Willie Taggart, I think there's a whole lot probably going on behind the scenes that we just don't know as far as what's going on in that locker room. And I mean, the perfect example, it's taken Mike Norvell 3 years to get it corrected at Florida State.
It took him 3 years to have an even competent-looking football team.
There you go.
And then Workforce Freebie points out, yeah, Jimmy Johnson, he lives in Isla Mirada. I love the sandbar. The sandbar parties in Isla Mirada are great. I grew up in Tavernier Key on the runway. There's a little teeny private airport in Tavernier Key. That's where I grew up. And yeah, so we spend a lot of time in Largo still, and with family and stuff. So we frequent the Big Chill, and that's where his bar is at. But it's a cool place. We can go back to talking football. But boy, talking football sure is depressing when you're a Miami Hurricanes fan.
It's really not, because I can't do
joke.
nothing but sit here and read these comments going through and laugh.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Because Rocky Top Kane again. Does anyone think that Radakovich will have a backbone and tell Mario this is unacceptable? No, he won't, because it's year one.
Yeah. Also,
the only thing that would be unacceptable
is the guy that helped build Clemson. So
no, he came in there years after Dabo was hired.
Yeah, but he got a lot of money and funding, is what I'm trying to say. Like, he definitely helped out more.
Well, Blake James did that too. Nobody's raised more money for Miami ever than Blake James.
Oh, so why did we fire him? I don't understand.
Because for some reason they think the AD controls who gets hired and who gets fired. I think it's obvious. It should be obvious to the fan base now that they don't, because they hired a coach before they hired an AD.
Wait, we did?
Oh my gosh. It's like I tried telling, and there are plenty of videos on YouTube just to substantiate this. I kept asking why people are going on about Blake James. All the athletic director really does is announce who's hired and who's fired and raise money.
So
that's all they do.
Rocky Top is asking, does anyone think that?
Yeah, we just talked
AD,
about that.
Yeah, exactly, but
no. I mean,
you don't think they give him just a little bit? I know that's what we were talking about, but I just highlighted his comment. But
guys, I know Miami fans are cutthroat, but we're not.
Do you think this is acceptable to Mario?
Okay, sorry, I'd wandered off. I would say you busted me. I was thinking about hanging out at the Big Chill in Key Largo, and diving for lobster, and all that. And you guys were talking about football, so you lost me for a moment. Back to slap me back into reality. So.
Go down to the next comment from Michael Long. 2 more losses, and this will be the worst season since 97. No, it won't. We went 5-7 under Al Golden. We went 5-7 under Randy Shannon. We're not.
We've only got
territory.
4. We've only got 4 right. Oh yeah, that's right, because we're gonna beat Clemson.
No, we're going 7-5. We're gonna smoke Clemson.
Well, no. 2 more losses. Okay, we got 3 games left. That would put us at 5-7. We've literally had 5-7 teams.
Now, if we go 4-8, we'll reach Florida levels of bad.
Yeah, and which Miami's yet to do.
Take that, Gators.
Unlike Florida and Florida State, we haven't lost to FCS teams either. As mad as everybody is about Middle Tennessee, they're a CUSA team, not FCS.
Yeah, chomp
Isn't it
chomp.
just sad
Gators.
how the big three now are just the debate isn't who's better, it's just who's less.
It's
trash.
who's the worst.
Who's less
It's the
trash.
debate. It's like which one sucks the most. Ha
Well,
ha!
I
Everybody
might have
laughs at
lost
the
to
other
Middle
one.
Tennessee, but you lost to Jacksonville State. Yeah, well, we lost to Jacksonville State, but Florida lost to whatever this school was, and they had 2 offensive linemen blocking each other. That's the debate now. It's not even about national championships.
Okay, Rocky Top Cane. Why would you fire the coordinators? What part of this season would you put on the coordinators that say they need to be fired?
Because Twitter said so, Slim. That's about it.
Well, and that's not it. Let's give him a little credit. I mean, he's just asking a question.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I mean,
It's an
people,
open conversation. Let's not
people,
like, you know.
No,
you know what? If you
I see
want,
this a lot
here's
from
an
my
idea.
fans.
Here's an idea. Drop the link. I want to see more than just that comment.
Yeah,
Explain
hey,
yourself.
You guys want to do
Yeah.
that? Let's
Yeah.
do that. We
Yeah,
we can
bring people on
invite
here.
somebody in. I can bring in, 1-2 people at a time if anybody would like to join
We're
us and
already at
jump
an
in and
hour.
talk to us.
So it can't be too long.
What's that?
We're at 56 minutes.
What, are you going to turn into a pumpkin?
Yeah, shut the hell up.
Hey, if anybody would like to join us and come on here and give their opinion about that, there is the link right there to the show. StreamYard is very, very simple. You just click that link on your phone, or preferably if you're at a computer, it sounds better, but whatever you got. Join in with us. Give us your thoughts. Have fun. Laugh.
But one
Troll.
requirement,
Talking about-
one requirement.
Yep.
You're going to have to turn on your camera to make sure you're not some 12-year-old doing the 2-knuckle shuffle.
Yes, that is a fact too. I'm going to screen that, Slim. Don't worry. I'll probably I've got that figured out. So, yeah, do it respectable. This is we are on Mark Rogers' channel, so we try to keep everything respectable here. So just
Yeah, Bobby,
have some
you're
cool.
talking about Mario's quote unquote inability to develop. I'm just gonna say this: he had 3 guys go into the top 10 3 years in a row. Penei Sewell, Justin Herbert. I'm blanking on the defensive lineman's name. What's his name? Oh my God, how am I blanking on this?
Leonard Taylor.
No, from Oregon. From Oregon.
Oh,
He went-
the one from Oregon.
Oh God.
Well, I
what's
mean,
his name?
if you
Kayvon
have any,
Thibodeau.
if you're having any question on Mario Cristobal's ability to develop players, go listen to any Dan Lanning post-game press conference, and he'll tell you how well developed they are.
Yeah, and not even that, you got Javon Holland playing for the Dolphins right now, doing a great job at safety. I love Javon Holland.
And see, Rocky
proud
Top
of
Kane, he puts this out here. Gaddis is trying to squeeze a square peg in a round hole. He's not utilizing the roster strengths. The defense is not adjusting to those big plays. Also, I said leaning that way since Mario is safe. And, I do have to say I do somewhat agree with what he is saying. I don't think that the Gaddis is making the right choices necessarily with the players he has, but I do think that he is making the right choices with where he wants the program to go and the way the team is playing.
Well, and there
So-
was a time even on here I agreed with that statement because I brought up several times I didn't think that they were I wondered why Thad Franklin wasn't seeing the field in this situation or that situation. Well, I've got to correct myself. Thad Franklin has missed 3 games for a reason. He's injured. Well, that would explain why Thad Franklin's not in that situation. You can't use a guy he doesn't have.
Hey, you guys saw that link I posted, right?
Yeah, please come on here and
hey, I'll post it again just in case anybody else missed it. But you're more than welcome to join into the Miami football post-game show at the Voice of College Football and tell us what you think about it. There's the link. It's Saturday night. Come on. Anybody want to jump on, give their thoughts? There's the link.
Hey, even if you're at the club, just jump on.
Yeah. Nobody will, though. Everybody likes to chat, but nobody will actually jump in and.
Well, it kind of proves my point. It's easy to type in a comment section. It's hard to get in a conversation and defend your ideas against somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, Rocky, you're talking about Lashley, and he put up some points against Duke and weak Virginia Tech, but just look back at the beginning of last year against Bama. They knew everything we were going to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Justin makes an interesting comment here. He says, we are 9 games into the season. We have arguably the best quarterback that we've had in probably the last 20 years. Yet haven't scored a touchdown since third quarter Duke game. I'll be right back, guys. You talk about that for a second. Arguably the best quarterback we've had in 20 years.
TVD went on in the second quarter, and then we had the Jake Garcia show where he was throwing straight to the Duke players. Gordon, $10 donation.
Well, hang on. We'll get to that. I want to answer this other question. He's got highlighted first. TVD's one of the 3 best quarterbacks we've had in the last 20 years. Brock Berlin is definitely up on that list. And like we brought up earlier, Brad Kaya pretty much owns most of the career, records for Miami, so he's got to be in that conversation as well.
I think he was saying more. Oh, sorry. I think he was saying more in terms of like arm talent. Like how the best like that.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, it's arguable. I'm going to say he's top 3. I'm not going to take that away from him at all. But it's also been pointed out several times in his comment section, and most people know it's true. The basis for any offense or defense, for that matter, starts in the trenches. And when you are as bad as Miami is in the trenches, especially along the offensive line, it's hard to get any offense running. Look at all the trouble they've had simply running the ball this year. They can't run it up the gut. They can't run it between the tackles. They can't run it to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, and when it comes to the outside, you're not just looking at offensive line blocking. You're looking at wide receivers blocking. Well, they can't do that either. I mean, for all the problems people have with Gaddis's offense, he's not the one out there throwing blocks against DBs that are taking down runners. Look at them.
So I just step back. Are you addressing Gordon's super chat or?
Well, no, he was next. He's cool. Next up on the list.
Well, thank you very much, Gordon Alford, for the $10 super chat, man. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the show. He says, how can Mario tell parents that he has their kids' best interests in heart when he allowed TVD to play when he had no business being out there? Coaches have to protect players.
I agree with that. And we brought that up just a little bit ago. I absolutely agree with that. He never should have been in there.
Yeah, but Mario had been saying during the week and even said after the game that TVD looked good in practice and that there seemed to be no issues. And apparently this was just a comment here, so I have to go back and check. But apparently someone said, it was Minotaur, a reporter said that TVD tweaked his arm in a different spot. So I don't know how true that is, but then that changes the whole situation if that is true. If it's a different spot, yeah. And
if it's something different, absolutely.
And I know that Mario had said that during the week and during practice, TVD looked fine. And honestly, to start the game, he didn't look terrible. But, yeah.
Now, it was that one pass that ended up falling short that he threw from the end zone.
Yeah.
because they replayed it a few times. And I know at one point, I guess the sideline reporter had talked to him or somebody, and she reported that, until that pass, it wasn't hurting him. Wasn't hurting him in warm up.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think they would have played him because let's say he quote unquote didn't care about TVD, then I don't know. Maybe he would have played against Virginia last week.
Hey, let me. Michael Long is actually trying to join in and chat with us. We just lost Michael Long, but it was saying that your device was not connected, my friend. So what you have to do, you have to give your phone permission to StreamYard. Is what you have to do, right, Slim? Isn't that how it works?
Yes.
Yeah. See, there's going to be a prompt that says give StreamYard, permission to use your microphone or whatever, and just click that button. It's really simple. I'll post the link again. If anybody else, let's see, I'll do it one more time. Okay, Michael Long, he's in the back room again. He exited out. Just give StreamYard permission to access your phone's microphone. I'm assuming you're using a phone, and I haven't done it in forever because all my stuff just keys in. But isn't that what it's like? Yeah, yeah. Baby Shaq, gotta click allow. You gotta let some do it, man. You gotta let some do it. But if anybody would like to jump on, all right, we got somebody. All right, Michael Long, yeah, it's him in private. Yeah, all you got to do, Michael Long, is just click allow. Let StreamYard have access to your phone or whatever device you're using. Just give it to them. It's pretty simple, man. Even Edward can do it.
And that's saying something.
Oh, geez. No, I do hope we somehow end up making a bowl again this year just because I like seeing my team play. But it's looking scary now.
Yeah, Gordon, he did come in for like a little 3-and-out drive.
They came in for the first and second down, and then he went back out.
Yeah, but I like knowing the player TVD is and the warrior he is. He probably was like, no, like leave me out there, and then.
Well, I get that. I get his wanting to stay out there, but much like a corner man for a boxer, you have to protect. You have to protect him from himself.
Yeah. Which if that's true, then yeah, I agree with you with the protecting players. But I don't think Mario's just out here trying to like be like,
no,
Mario's not. I don't care that you dislocated your shoulder. Just pop it in, get back out there, go. Like, come on, man. Like these coaches are under such a microscope nowadays. Like if something like that were to happen, that's a whole new can of worms to open up right there.
And Justin, I completely agree with your comment that we have talent and it's disheartening to see them play like this. But it goes back to the point of the coaching carousel. When you've had 3 head coaches in 5 years, 3 offensive coordinators in 4, and 3 defensive coordinators in 3, these guys are constantly learning a new system. They can never develop when they're constantly having to restart.
Now, did you see this here where he says Coach Hayes said some students had FSU shirts on in the student section? And
they're getting expelled.
No, they're not going to get expelled.
Well, it's a joke, Slim. Jesus.
No, as long as they pay the money for that tuition, they ain't getting expelled. They can wear anything they want to wear.
That $40K a year is something serious.
Right. Yeah, it ain't cheap, man. It ain't cheap. And Justin, let's see what Justin says. I know that with the new head coach, there's going to be losses, whether it's the close ones or the big ones. But the fact that we have the talent we do on this team and can't score a touchdown is it's not even kind of disheartening. It is very disheartening.
Well, that comment is what I was just talking about.
Okay, sorry. I need to quit walking away. I'm in the middle of painting a staircase, and I have to keep walking over and stirring the paint so it doesn't
unprofessional.
like clunk up. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. This is the unprofessional Mark Rogers postgame show. Welcome in.
What are you talking about, man? We're sponsored by Jimmy Johnson.
Well, I know, but he doesn't know that yet, so neither does Mark.
He still orders. He owes us that yearly Miami tuition.
Or at least, I don't even care if he'd at least go back to giving the. I mean, you used to be able to go to the Big Chill, and you could pull in there on your boat, after a long day, and you could go in there for happy hour. It was like, I want to say it was 3 to 6 every day, and it was like, you'd get the 12-inch pizza for $4.99. Everything on the menu was $4.99, $4.99, $4.99, $4.99. You could go in there for $20, $30. Well,
and I don't know how close Coach Hayes was to the student section, but somebody else was talking about it. The students had started a mock FSU chant, mocking the Florida State chant during the game. So I'm sure they come up with some mock shirts for it too.
Yeah, there's one chant that us UM fans really like to chant in response to that stupid fucking tomahawk chop.
Oh, there's nothing worse than losing. Losing to White Tonto is a horrible thing. But
I'll
that
say
was
this.
yesterday.
The Noel cards.
I'll say this about losing that game, and to me, this is why it doesn't bother me that bad, because the Florida State Miami rivalry is so much more interesting, at least in my opinion, than the Michigan Ohio State rivalry. I mean, how can you really get up for a rivalry when you've won 1 out of the last 18?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It is a back and forth. That's what makes it a rivalry, right? It's not really a rivalry if one team wins every year.
I mean, Jesus, I remember Virginia Tech and Virginia. Didn't Virginia Tech win like 15, 16 matchups in a row in that quote-unquote rivalry? That's not a rivalry at that point.
Well, look at this season. I mean, Bama, Tennessee. This is the first time Tennessee's beaten Alabama in 17 years.
Well, that I think that might be the most disheartening thing about this is, I mean, if we hadn't lost to Florida State tonight, we would have definitely been playing in the playoffs. At least we would have been top 4. but we lost this game tonight, and now they flexed on us this one time in the past 4 years, 5 years. What are we do? 2 for 5 now in
Brendan,
the past 5
years.
I
said it, man. Ref stole it.
All right, man. Jesus Christ.
This is the 2003 Fiesta Bowl all over again, man.
I know White Tonto. He's down there starting up all those new casinos and all that stuff down there in Florida, and he's paying off the refs. This is I see where this is going. We got to put a stop to this.
You know what? Workforce is absolutely right. Let's just laugh at the fact that FSU couldn't afford to send their band.
I like that.
I thought I would get to hear that stupid tomahawk chant less because of that, but I still got to hear it a good amount.
I'm gonna need this guy.
Were quiet.
I'm gonna need this guy Briley to learn how to count, because last time I checked, 52 to 10 is worse than 35 to 3 or 45 to 3.
I got you, Michael Long.
I finally made it in.
You finally figured it out, Michael Long. What's up, my friend? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. I hate to see my Canes lose like they did, but hey, it's part of the game.
It is part of the game.
So what do you got to bring to the table, man? What do you think? Make a joke, anything you want.
My question would be, how do you think, with Gaddis' play calling, how do you think Ponce is getting these quarterbacks ready for the games?
I'll leave that one to you.
Well, what do you? I'm confused by your question. What do you mean?
Well, see, Ponce is our quarterback coach. Is he preparing these guys to run the plays that Gaddis is? Is he preparing them to run those plays the way Gaddis wants to run them?
Well, absolutely he is.
But do you think the quarterback's just not catching on to his Gaddis' schemes, or do you see the quarterbacks just, being I
don't see the quarterbacks being the problem. I see the offensive line and the wide receivers being the problem.
So when Garcia gets in the game and plays the way he starts off playing, do you not see that as a problem for him, or?
I don't know what's going on with him, because I'm sure there's an old saying in football that, excuse me, and Josh Gaddis has even touched on this before, that your backups should prepare like they're starters.
Exactly.
Because we've all seen it, one play and all of a sudden you're in the game. And he said that's why, backup quarterbacks, second stringers, he does about a 60-40 split according to him, as far as, backup quarterbacks getting first team reps and that kind of thing. More than likely, what I think it is a problem that we know this team has had, and Mike Harley snitched on him.
Slim, can I butt in for 2 seconds? I don't know how you say this guy's name, but Stillinks 121. That's because we're having a way lot more fun than you.
Right. But like I was saying, Mike Harley snitched on him until it's proven itself different. These guys aren't putting in the work on their own, so far as we know. And that's not something the coaches can control, because the coaches are only allowed around them so much by NCAA rules.
I got you. Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, just say for the sake of argument, okay, Garcia came in and played the way he did. He's getting 40% of the first team snaps in practice, because I've got no reason to think that Gaddis is lying about that. He's not putting in the work on his own to be ready to start if his number gets called.
Right. Well, it makes sense. And I mean, do you see Gaddis being, like I said, I think he's a good offensive coordinator, but as a wide receiver coach, do you think that's something that Miami needs to reach out and maybe get a wide receiver coach to help these receivers to be able to separate themselves from, because that seems like another problem is our wide receivers can't separate from no DBs.
Well, let's not forget that was the problem last year, and them not catching the ball was also a problem last year. So that's a problem he's walked into. As far as them hiring another coach, they can't. You're only allowed, once again, by NCAA rules, you're only allowed to have so many coaches.
Right.
All coordinators across the country coach a position group. All of them do.
Right.
And he just happens to be the wide receiver coach. So, and now I'll say this much: as far as what I've seen over the years, it's different. Most offensive coordinators are quarterbacks coaches, or I've even seen some that are running backs coaches. But you do see very few that are coaching the wide receivers. That's always been the position group that he's coached.
I like these trolls coming in. They're trying to fight with us. I enjoyed seeing the shock, disappointment, and surprise on the Canes fans' faces, and I loved every second of it. Man, we've seen us upset you, and I'm glad you kept us out of the playoffs this year. I'm so happy that this was the year that you get to flex on us.
Hey, Brennan,
thank you so much.
You have to let
they get to flex on us like we did them at 52-10 in 2020. So.
Right. I'm just glad that you actually won in a year that we sucked. Well, I mean, we've sucked for a long time, but yeah, exactly. There's no disappointment here. We're here for fun. And thanks for being here, Sky121. We really do appreciate you having here. Same for you, the Gainesville Knoll. Give Cristobal a lifetime contract. I really love that guy. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here, man. Troll or not, thanks for being here. It's all about fun.
That is a confusing name, Gainesville Knoll.
I know.
Yeah, you get a lot of those like the Oregon Ducks fans as well.
Oh yeah. So Michael Long, let's ask you. So what do you think? Are you optimistic about the outlook of our program, or how do you feel about it?
I think I was excited when we hired Cristobal. I was very excited. I this season by bringing him in from Oregon and with the coaching staff, I was like, we're gonna be 9-3, 10-2 team. But the way he's coming in and recruiting, if these recruits hold up, I'm very optimistic to seeing us in the next, not next year, but the year after that. At least by 2026, I'm hoping we're playing for the national championship because, the national championship will be hosted at the Hard Rock. So in 2026.
Perfect timing.
I don't think that's a very unrealistic timeline because by that point, that's 100% all of his players. Like all these Manny guys are gone.
Exactly. And I'm hoping, I hate to say it, but at the end of the season, I'm hoping a lot of those Manny players jump in the portal.
One thing we got to be careful. I don't want to diss on the Manny players. So I mean, they've been our players, and that's our family.
Yeah,
when you go to a game and you see, when you actually go to the games and see that it's like they're not even trying.
I see it, man.
They're not putting their heart into it.
And that's exactly a point that we brought up too. Is when the effort of the players isn't there, how are you going to get mad at the coaches when the play don't work?
Right.
Of course, it's not going to work if you're not putting any effort behind it.
That was kind of shocking because I went to I live in Georgia, so I get to go to Miami just every so often and watch them play down there. I normally go to Tallahassee and watch them, or the Georgia Tech game and watch them all the time. But I went down to Miami and watched the Duke game, and it was just like, wow, I can't believe our players are just looking like they're lost on the field.
Yeah. Now, where about in Georgia are you?
I'm in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay, that's not too far over to Clemson.
No, it's South Carolina's. It's not too far from South Carolina to go to watch that game.
4 hours.
I most likely go to that game this year.
Well, if you do, make sure you let me know. Contact us. You can come hang out, Slim Shady Canes, and I will be there along with Pigskin Pete and Huffer Billy Paul, some other YouTube people. We will all be at that game. If you're coming, contact us. Let us know. We'll hang out. I'll do that
because I'll be at the Georgia Tech game. That's my plans to be in there. So next week, I was going to go to this weekend, but I had things come up for me not to be able to make it to the FSU game. But my thing is, we can lose every game of the year. We got to be more prepared for the FSU game.
Yeah, that was that it smarts, man. It does smart, but. Yeah. At the end of the day, we have to come on here and do a post-game show. So we're not. We all talked at the beginning before we even started doing this that we're going to make it fun regardless. So if people want to come on here and be like, "Oh, y'all are," whatever. We're just trying to have a good time, man. We're Miami fans. We're family. So
I've been a fan for a long time.
That, and I'm just the type of person. I'm going to call what I see the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just going to go along with the popular narrative in the fan base because, well, quite frankly, the popular narrative in the fan base is what's got us to this point.
Yeah. True.
I'm just going to the comments.
Oh, these comments are hilarious.
The thing, at least it's funny, man. As long as everybody's having a good time, I think we're all winning.
Noel came in kind of late though, but he came in shots firing, man.
I know Gainesville Noel came in hot, man. He's trolling good, and cool, man. You know what though? Your win was so yesterday. That was so yesterday. So I mean, I'm East Coast. I don't know what time it is. Let's look and see.
It should be about 1 in the morning.
Yeah, it is 1:09. So your win was so yesterday. So we still own you in the
35-32.
Yeah, 35. Yeah, you're still our little sister. So regardless, but I'm glad your 15 minutes of fame is up. Thanks for being here, friend.
Rocky don't forget Mario recruited many of these Manny players. He had Devontae, whatever. Yeah, he was recruiting a lot of them, but he didn't develop them. He didn't have them in his system. I guarantee that if you take all the players that Manny got and put them under Mario from 2019 to 2022, this would be a completely different roster and team. This season would be completely different. That's not Nick Saban recruited Gervin Hall. Did Gervin Hall really work out at the University of Miami? No, he didn't. Sorry. a lot of these guys are heavily recruited and they don't work out. Why? Because of coaching turnover and the inability to develop talent.
So James Hennessy just came in here with another $2 super chat. So let's hear a quick summarized version of this question from all three of you. He says, thoughts on Norvell. Slim, what do you think?
I got to give credit to Norvell. I had questions about him when he was hired because he kept the ball rolling at Memphis when he took over for Justin Fuente when Virginia Tech hired him. But I had my worries about him, whether or not he'd be able to turn around a program that was so far down like they were. And I mean, he's gotten them to bowl eligibility. So, I mean, props to him so far. Because, I mean, they haven't made a bowl game in 4 or 5 years, so they're going to make a bowl game this year. That's improvement. And Miami fans need to see that.
They'll have a winning season.
Yeah, well, and Miami fans need to use that as an example. It takes time. It's not going to happen in one season. You think Florida State was not talented when he took over? They absolutely had talent.
Yeah, he's got the players bought into his concept of, he's and then like watching him coach tonight, like that one player there's that I like the way he put him to the side and talked to him, on the sideline. The number 22 when he come off the sideline frustrated on the penalty.
Right. Yeah, I saw that too.
And that's good coaching to me to a player. But the thing of it is, if you just say, for instance, they would be asking for Norvell's head if he would have lost tonight or lost another game before he played us. If they would have had 4 losses or 5 losses by now, which it could have been that way, they would have been asking for his head.
Well,
same way
here's the
we
thing.
were asking about Manny's.
They were asking for his head because he did have 5, 6, 7 losses in a season.
Exactly.
But the administration didn't fire him. They gave all we heard was turmoil in the locker room, and they weren't buying into his system, and it's a dumpster fire year one.
Yeah.
How well is that aged? All the Miami fans were jumping on that at the time when they hired Norvell. How well is that aged?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
We're Miami. We're different. We're not happy right now. I mean, you're like my 2-week-old daughter. You're not happy right now, and you're going to let everybody know it.
Right. Like I said, my thing is with the team, like I said, my expectations were just high by bringing in, and I think a lot of people's was by Mario Cristobal coming in from Oregon, and then the coaching staff that he brought in with him. But do you think Gaddis was, as long as it took them to hire Gaddis and some of these other coaches, do you think that is Mario's first picks at coaches? Because I think if I'm not mistaken, didn't he go after some of Oregon's coaches that like the defensive coach, and he didn't go after the offensive coach, but I know the defensive coach he went after, I think, from the NFL. And then what you think Gaddis was like a last minute pick, or do you think he thought Gaddis was going to fit Miami style of football?
My opinion, Mario took his time in hiring his staff.
So I think this next question is is directed at Alex.
Uh-oh.
Man, I wish. Or at least, like I said, just start walking down the aisle handing out free alcohol for everyone.
Well, at least Nick C and you, Alex, are season ticket holders, man. Y'all should at least get a beer together and teach your sorrows how to swim or something like that,
Trust me, my sorrows were swimming tonight.
Oh, geez. So what else you got to say, Alex?
I said everything there needed to be said, bro. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane, isn't it?
Well, that's like Tim Woods keeps bringing up. Miami's averaging 10 points a game, and Florida State's averaging 30. What was Florida State averaging Norvell's first year? Because it wasn't 30.
I'm gonna say, can I make a really good point? I think our cheerleaders are hotter than theirs.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to cheerleaders, I'm a fan of every team.
they're all winners, man. I don't know, man. You get up there around Indiana and stuff like that, man. It starts getting a little.
Because I tell you, I've been to a sorority party or two at Ole Miss in my day. Because I'm only about 2 hours from Ole Miss, and I've wondered a time or two myself if they make them send in a photo with their college applications. Because good golly, Miss Molly.
Dude, say what you will about Tallahassee, but I've been up there and goddamn.
Yeah, they're all winners. Hey, James Hennessy, thanks again for another $2 super chat.
Wow, James.
James is man. Thank you so much, man, for all your support. It really means a lot. He says, "But is Norvell good on comparison to Mario?"
No, Mario's got more of a proven record right now, especially at the Power 5 level, than Norvell.
Norvell's definitely getting it rolling in the right direction, and there's no denying that. But yeah, basically what Slim said, Mario's proven it more.
And this keeps coming, and I'm not sure if he means it this way, but a lot of comments, it just keeps coming back. People are comparing, what Norvell's doing right now to what Mario's doing right now. You're comparing 9 months against almost 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
There is no comparison.
Who's that yawning in the background? Is that you, Alex?
That's the young buck.
That's what I was about to say. Is that just so you got a bunch of old dudes up here sitting here talking Miami football, cheerleader talk, and all kinds of good stuff. And you're yawning.
Day.
Oh, okay.
I had a puppy, which
I woke up at 6:15 this morning, man. I'm still here, and I'm 46 years old, so I don't want to hear no excuses.
I got a puppy recently, and
I got some puppy recently. Listen to this guy.
As middle-aged corporate
Life's
women
rough.
like to say, it's basically like a child. Okay.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something.
Middle-aged corporate women, not me, Slim. Don't go in on me. Going on middle-aged corporate women.
Hang on. I'm gonna disagree with that more than a little, because not only do I have a dog.
Yeah, I know. This is why I brought it up.
But I've got 3 kids under the oldest being 6 years old. As a matter of fact, I have 2 6-year-olds and
a shitty football team to do it. This is like
I have 2 6-year-olds and a 3-week-old.
Slim, what stinks worse, the 3 weeks old shit or the football team?
Oh, the 3-week-old, no doubt.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it is fun though.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna. Okay. We get called an idiot again, so I have to.
I love these comments. I've missed it. Wait.
He's William Freeman. Almost 4 years. Norvell is in his 3rd year. Idiot moderators. Okay, we're gonna go back to our counting lessons.
Wait, I'm the moderator, so no, I'm a fool, not an idiot.
We're gonna use all of our fingers, okay, and all of our toes. Yes, Norvell's in his 3rd season, but he was there for 9 months before the season started. So he's almost there for 4 years. Exactly like I said. Ooh, he's 3 months shy. Oh my gosh. I was off by 3 months. Wow.
Blasphemy.
Well, you got to realize them sucking old fans. They don't know how to count. Don't know.
They're not really the brightest bunch, now are they?
Well, I do like the way William did. He says almost 4 years ? Then he says Norvell is only in his 3rd year. Idiot moderators. There should have been some. I don't know, grammatically maybe. I'm not quite reading.
Well,
this
I wasn't
correctly,
even
but,
getting into the. I figured simple math was hard enough. I wasn't getting into grammar.
But okay, cool. All right. No, sometimes I'm so dumb. I'm such an idiot. I'm a fool. I'm a self-proclaimed fool. Traveling fools. You can tune in. My wife and I. We are both self-proclaimed fools. So nobody can make fun of us.
Okay.
But your grammar sucks. But
Rocky
yeah,
Top
I'm sorry.
came-
My moderating is. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Rocky Top came. I live in West Tennessee, so I know exactly what Tennessee's been going through, which is also basically what we've been going through. I mean, the two programs are very comparable over what's been going on the past 15 years. So with you being in Knoxville, I'm sure you remember, or the Knoxville area, I'm sure you remember they were in love with Butch Jones year 2 as well. And we see how that went.
Now, my big question here, Slim, is why wasn't Rocky Top Kane at the Slob Olympics with us?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. We were in Pigeon Forge, just 4 or 5 months ago.
Back in
all
March.
hanging out. Yeah. All hanging out. Rocky Top Kane, you need to come hang out with us next time. It'd be fun.
Woods, your math is wrong. It's 9 quarters, buddy. Sorry, just to make it worse.
Yeah, well, he also said Mario should be winning more first year with the talent he inherits. Once again, I'm not going to get into grammar, but
you don't want to be that Karen, right?
Well, I'll give you another example. I would say that Kirby Smart should have won more first year with the talent he inherited, but he didn't. He went 7-5.
Yeah, he had a stat class. Mark Ricks left him good.
Fired by now.
He had a more talented team than us and went 7-5. Georgia was more talented when Kirby took over.
Hear that? The dog barking in the back.
Yeah, we can hear the dog.
Yeah.
No, I can't hear that werewolf at all. It is a full moon tonight. It looked like it, at least from my house.
Oh my God! Shut up!
Rocky Top Kane, we do always, like, a bunch of us YouTube people do get together periodically, and you need to you know, we were right in your neck of the woods not too long ago. You could have came and hang out. Although there was a blizzard that weekend, which made it really fun, but it was a good time.
And, I mean, it goes back to the same point again. Okay, they've got talent. How good do you expect that talent to be playing? Number one, from a coach that was fired. So, I mean, same talent. And number two, the constant turnover. How do you expect talent to develop? There's a reason Manny was fired. Not only was there turnover from Mark Rick to Manny in such a short amount of time, and then Manny to Mario in such a short amount of time, let's not forget, Manny fired his first offensive coordinator because people didn't have the patience to wait, which Dan Enos is making everybody look like some fools for that one.
Yeah, look at him at Maryland.
Exactly. And number two, he fired the defensive coordinator because, they don't look good. We got to get rid of him.
And then look what he did with the
Nick C. I totally agree with you. This is what I cannot tolerate is the fact that these guys are just not competing. That is inexcusable. And like we said, that's not the coaching staff's fault. These kids are not, Mario's recruits are not buying into or Manny's recruits are not buying into what Mario is selling. And
I think some are.
It's not just that they're not competing.
Well, I don't mean them all. I mean, that one guy, I'm bad with names, but on defense, I mean, that guy's balling, man.
Cam Kinch.
Leonard Taylor.
Leonard Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor is absolutely bought into it, and he is playing well.
I mean, Leonard Taylor, this actually came out because Leonard Taylor said it. During the year, he had shown a lot of flashes, and Mario sat. I don't know if he went to Mario, if Mario went to him, but they had a meeting with Leonard Taylor, his mom, and a bunch of coaches from the defensive staff, basically laying it out for him, saying, you have a lot of potential and you could do more and you need to step up. And then he showed out against Virginia last week. That's what he said that after the game, because he was sat down and he bought into what they told him. He allowed himself to be coachable.
And that's the perfect example of what we've been up here talking about, really, since week one, or the first loss, however you want to look at it. It guys have got to get bought in, and Taylor wasn't doing what he was supposed to do.
Slim, you're right. We've done that from the get-go. I mean, we are like reasonable fans. I mean, I'm a diehard Miami fan. I wear Miami hat. I've got a hat I've worn all over the whole world that I wear Miami hats. And I'm a diehard Miami fan, but we all went into this at the beginning of the season like, yeah, let's look at it like in real terms and talk about it and have fun with it. And here we are, hoping we make a bowl game. Still having fun. Still having fun, though. That's the point.
Well, you want to talk about reasonable? I said the offseason, 9-3 was the absolute cap for this team.
Yes.
Somebody wanted to bring up Coach Hayes earlier. Coach Hayes was live the day they hired Mario. I called into his show. Everybody got mad at me. I said they're going to go 6-6.
Yeah, it looks like a blessing at this point, man.
Not really. We might be a game off of that. We might do a game better than that. We'll see.
Yeah, what am I talking about? We're going to smoke Clemson.
I mean, I brought it up last week. These guys are coaches, not miracle workers. You want a miracle, call Jesus.
Like I said, and the thing of it is, it's possible to win the next three, but I just don't. I don't know if we're gonna get. I don't know if we're gonna get.
It's certain.
Yeah, it is certain. Well, at least the Clemson game. I mean, Clemson sucks so bad. I mean, they
lost to Notre Dame. Notre Dame can't win a big game to save their life, yet they did it today.
No. Well, I'll say this: the Woods in the comments section, he's taking all of his Miami gear to Goodwill. We're not winning any more games.
Yeah, this guy's a troll.
I'll say the same thing to you that I say to any recruit that decides not to come, to any player that decides to transfer. Have fun.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah, I do too.
I've lived on the top of the world with this team, and I'll die on the hill with it.
Oh yeah.
I think
that's just who I am, and I'm going to be smiling, and I'm going to be smiling the whole way through.
I mean, Slim, I've said it before, man. Like y'all got to at least see the good times. Not me, and I'm still here.
Well, and I think that's part of the problem is Miami rode high for what, 25 years?
Roughly from 83 to 2004.
Well, I'm not even talking about national titles. They were making New Year. They were making New Year's 6 games before then. So I mean, you can say from 1980 to
Baby Shaq always has funny things to say. I love Baby Shaq. He's always got some fun. I know, man. You need to come join us, Baby Shaq. I think you would be fun to have on.
You should join us for Georgia Tech next week when you're not going to be here, Brendan.
I know I'm not going to be here next week. My cousin actually, those rare weddings where, like a lot of times during football season, it's like, I'm getting married on November you're like, God dang it, and you skip the wedding to watch football. This is one I can't skip. Because
if my girlfriend ever says that we're gonna have a fall wedding, out of consideration to everyone else, I will just end the relationship there because it's obviously not gonna work out.
Thank you very much, man. Because I ain't coming, man.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I had a fall wedding, but it was on Miami's bye week.
Oh, okay.
And most of her family, like I said, I live in West Tennessee. Most of her family is Tennessee Vols fans. And so I just didn't care.
I remember I've got a whole lot of brothers. I've got 5 brothers and a sister. But I remember when one of my brothers, he got married. It was actually in Knoxville, and Tennessee was playing, and we're waiting on the, in Miami. I think they'd already played or something, but the Tennessee game. So a whole lot of people were wanting to watch the football game, and the dad was like, because there was like a little bar off to the corner, had a TV. He actually went over there and turned it off. Everybody was like, "You fucking asshole!" But there was nothing you could say, you know.
I
It's
mean,
like,
the real assholes are the people that set it up during the fall.
Right, exactly. I mean, what is love? What is love? That shit can wait.
Not to take this conversation back, but I got to give a shout out to the ESPN cameraman. He just went down the whole line of USC cheerleaders.
Oh man. Oh, is there a game on now? Am I missing something?
Yeah, UCLA's playing. I mean, USC's playing Cal.
Oh, what's the score update?
USC is up 34-27 with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Oh, wow. So it's actually a good game.
As if my night couldn't get any worse. Panthers lost 2 tonight, man. Gotta be kidding me. Just perpetual disappointment here in South Florida.
Hey, at least tomorrow is going to be warm. You're going to wake up. It's going to be beautiful weather. The beaches will be beautiful and sandy, and the women will be beautiful. So it's not that bad. I mean, having a football team that sucks. I mean, imagine if you lived in like, Indiana, or you're like the Cornhuskers, and you wake up, oh yeah, my football team won, and yet I get to wake up and be in this horrible place. So, you got that going for you, man.
Well, PJ Flanagan brings up another example to the point we were making earlier. There was a whole lot of fire Nick Saban chants in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, his first year.
Yeah.
But none of them will admit to it now.
Well, no, they just lost to FSU, or not FSU, LSU. We just lost to FSU. LSU, they lost to. So I honestly think they should probably fire Nick Saban at this point.
He's washed.
Yeah, he's got 2 losses.
I know. Yeah, that's a 2-loss season.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, they're done.
Yeah,
God dang it! If I say that again, if I say it 3 times, True Seminole's going to pop back up in the chat. So I can't say the F word again.
The most annoying thing ever would be if FSU ever beat Alabama one day. We would never hear the end of it.
No, but what if LSU pulls off? I mean, don't they still have a chance at winning the SEC?
Have 2 losses. Oh wait, hold up.
Of winning the SEC though.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Do you think LSU can have 3 losses? If they win the SEC, do you think they're going to leave out the SEC champion?
No, they're not going to leave out the SEC.
All right,
champion.
then.
Listen to the young whippersnapper.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say something. Bro.
He's yawning away, man. Oh, my God.
I had a long day at the stadium. Leave me alone.
I had a long day at the stadium.
Yeah, LSU leads the West Division.
Guys.
LSU leads the West Division.
I know. So they could legitimately win the SEC now.
They have 3 games left, and their schedule is at Arkansas, who just lost to Liberty, UAB, and then the train wreck. Okay, yeah, LSU's going to the SEC championship.
Yeah, probably.
Georgia.
And if they win, they're a 2-loss team, right?
Yep.
They'll finish 10-2.
And if they win the SEC, shouldn't they be in the playoff?
They've never put in a 2-loss team before.
Never.
I know, because that hasn't happened. But if LSU wins the SEC,
okay, I'll put it like this: 2-loss conference champions have not made it before from other conferences.
Well, it would be LSU versus Georgia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so obviously Georgia's making it. I mean, they're an absolute juggernaut at this point. Where has that team been all day that played today? That they came out of nowhere and just lit it up. And good for them. I can't stand the Georgia Bulldogs, but good for them. They earn the number 1 spot. And if LSU beats them in the national or in the
SEC championship.
yeah, SEC championship. Sorry, my phone was ringing. Then LSU is
That
going to make it to the
Atlanta?
playoffs, right?
Maybe. I mean, it
Well, they
depends.
couldn't put Georgia in over them.
It
not
would
being.
depend on. I mean, it would depend on what else is going on in the country.
Yeah, there needs to be a lot of chaos.
I mean, you have to figure.
No. I'm saying if LSU beat Georgia in the SEC championship,
it depends on what else is going on in the country. The only reason Cincinnati got in last year is because Baylor lost the Big 12 title game. Otherwise, they would have been. No, because Oklahoma State lost it. Otherwise, they would have been in.
Right,
So a lot of these things
Clemson-
just don't get decided until the last week of the season.
no, I
Clemson's
know
probably
that.
gonna
I know that
drop out
though.
of the
But
top.
could you see them putting like a 2-loss LSU beats a 1-loss Georgia? Their 1 loss being to LSU in the SEC championship, and they put Georgia in instead of LSU?
No, I don't think either one of them would get in. Or, well, let me rephrase that.
come
I
on
don't
now.
think
SEC is
either
gonna be
one of them.
represented.
I don't think either
Georgia
one
would
of
get
them-
in, bro. With the SEC
Well,
bias,
no.
like let's be realistic. SEC bias with the committee.
No, they won't. Georgia will not get in. Not losing to a 2-loss LSU in the SEC title game.
Mm,
And actually, I'll rephrase what I said. LSU probably would get in, but they shouldn't, in my opinion.
Ooh.
I mean, if we look at this, if TCU stays undefeated and they win the Big 12, they should get in the playoff. One of Michigan or Ohio State's going to be in the playoff. Oregon or USC, maybe. That's 3 right there.
No, you know for a fact if LSU, even being a 2-loss,
Yeah, I
wins
say
the
they get
SEC, they're going to
get
go
in.
to the playoffs,
They'd
and
be that
so will
4th seed.
Georgia.
Well, no, because
No.
at
No,
that point,
it will. We've seen it happen. That's what's going to happen.
But yeah, Georgia lost last year, but they lost to a 1-loss Bama team. They didn't lose to a 2-loss Bama team.
Yeah, but the what ifs, if you win the SEC, you're going to the playoffs.
well, here's the thing though. At that point, you're stuck because okay, you have a 1-loss Georgia that lost in the SEC championship game. Well, what are you going to do about the 1-loss Big 12 or Big 10 champion?
Well, neither Big Ten champ has. The 2 Big Ten frontrunners are still undefeated: Ohio State and Michigan.
But that's and assuming they are, you will have a 1-loss loser of the Big 10.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say. Okay. Damn. Yeah. So could you have 2 Big Ten teams in there, Michigan and Ohio State in the playoff? Michigan at 4.
To me, that's more likely as having 2
Yeah.
Big 10 teams if that scenario works
More
out.
likely, it would be in this hypothetical situation. Let's say Ohio State beats Michigan. They're undefeated. They would be number 1. You'd have to put at number 2. I'm looking at it. Maybe TCU would be number 2, which that would just be crazy
If they're undefeated.
if they're undefeated. Number 3, either Oregon or USC, winner of the Pac-12. And then number
That
4,
adds
Michigan.
well, you're leaving out, okay, a 1-loss Clemson that wins the ACC.
Man, but the way they just lost to a 5-3 Notre Dame team, like
It's
But
not
that's
gonna-
Notre Dame, though. That's Notre
it's
Dame.
not gonna matter. They lost to a terrible Syracuse and a terrible Pitt team and made it in 2 different seasons.
And Syracuse and Pitt is not Notre Dame. Losing to Notre Dame, even how bad they suck this year,
It's a name.
it's Notre Dame. So, you know.
They put Notre Dame in after losing a conference championship game in 2020.
I just hope Oregon doesn't make it, because if not, we will never stop hearing it from Oregon fans, and it's going to be the most annoying.
No, Oregon's
thing.
not gonna make it.
I really hope that they do. It really proves the point on how well Mario can develop talent. That a guy can come in year 1 and make it to the playoffs with him.
It would also be really freaking funny to see Bo Nix in the playoffs.
That would be. I ain't even gonna lie. That would be kind of funny.
That would be hilarious.
Well, hey guys, I'm about ready to wrap this up. I got
Yeah, we're about to hit
paint.
2
I got
hours.
paint drying. Yeah, we've been on here for 2 hours talking about everything except how great Miami Hurricanes football is.
What are you talking about, man? We're back. We're back.
They're great every year.
7 weeks, baby. 7 weeks. 7 weeks. We're gonna be back like it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong.
Dude, I'm telling you, I just won a national championship in NCAA 14 today.
I wish my Xbox still worked, man. I miss winning.
Yeah, that's really the only winning I've seen. The little dynasties I've made.
Michael Long, thanks so much for joining in with us. You got anything you wanna say before we end this great wonderful show?
The only thing I can say is go Canes.
I agree with you, man. Go Canes.
Now, can you say it in the Ed Orgeron voice, how he said it?
Oh,
Go Canes.
I wonder how Ed Orgeron sounded saying that back in the day.
Go Canes.
Go Canes.
Go Canes.
Go Canes.
I think we should hire him personally.
Can
Well,
we get Ed Orgeron on the show? Can we work some magic?
He's been here before. A lot of people don't know that, but Ed Orgeron has coached at Miami.
yeah, that's back in, what was it, like in 92?
He came in.
National championship team in 89 and 91, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
somewhere, around there, yeah.
All right, let's get him on the show. Let's get
Hey,
hey.
say what you
now we have
say
goals.
say what you want about him. That's the man that convinced Warren Sapp to switch from tight end to defensive tackle.
And he had Joe Burrow, best quarterback in NCAA history.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and some gumbo too. Yeah, looking good.
You know,
He's been at Miami. He's been at a few Miami practice games and stuff. So
I know he's been hanging out down there. He's living La Vida Loca, hanging out with Jimmy Johnson.
And he was there walking around at the fan event.
Yeah,
repping that Miami gear. Go Canes.
Yeah, he's ready, man. He found.
Well, he was there. He was there in the spring too, and Mario brought him in for that off-season camp.
Exactly, workhorse for me. Go Canes.
I think Ed Orgeron just walked in, guys. Hey, Tyler Van Dyke's the best quarterback in the nation, guys. He's gonna get this shit turned around next year. He's gonna win the Heisman Trophy. Miami gonna go 15-0 next year. Go Canes. Don't worry about it. Mario Cristobal got this right.
Yeah, we need. I'm all about it.
Now, Workforce has got a great suggestion for next week. He said another montage next week with Three Stooges music instead of Benny Hill.
Can we get an edit?
Here we go. I like Workforce, man. He's a funny guy.
Slim, Brennan. I think I'm gonna try to make a little video edit of that Ja'Cory Brown through the legs and add the Benny Hill music in the back. I'll send it to you guys. I'll try to work on that tomorrow.
No, make it a YouTube short, man. You should already have it up. You'd probably get like at least 15,000 views of it.
Oh, you know, all the FSU fans would be sharing that around.
Oh yeah, of course.
Mario Cristobal is Willie Taggart in disguise. No one will ever outswindle Willie Taggart and the theft he was able to pull off at Florida State. I think y'all are still paying that man.
Dude, he's done it twice. What are you talking about? He swindled Oregon and then he swindled Florida State.
And he's swindling FAU right now too, because them boys are hot trash. I feel bad for Kosi, man. He deserves better.
Whew.
All right, guys. Well, you want to bounce off here and watch the end of late night football and
so wait, like,
I mean, it sounds like it's probably about that time. We've been on here for 2 hours right now. Slim Shady Canes. You got anything you want to plug or anything like that, man?
Well, I mean, some people have convinced me to start my own credit union with loan rates starting at 55% if anybody's interested.
Well, I was wanting to finance a bridge in Kansas, so you may be just the guy I was looking for.
How about some of that beachfront property in Arizona?
Oh man, that stuff's got to be sweet. Stuff's got to be sweet.
We're looking for the premier real estate company in America, not just in the Tennessee area, but in America. Hit up Slim Shady Real Estate.
Yeah.
No
Like I
affiliation
said,
with
though,
anyone.
and loan rates starting as low as 55%, but we do have a stringent enforcement policy run by Fat Tony.
And you don't want to piss off Fat Tony. That's
Is that hold on, is that Tony Soprano like James Gandolfini Fat Tony, or who are we talking about here?
no, that's Simpsons. That's a Simpsons reference. I got
Oh, I'm too young for that. God, I feel
I'm
like-
too young for that. Screw
Oh,
you, you goddamn
God.
whippersnapper.
I didn't
You're
watch
coming out there
Simpsons
saying you're
growing
too
up.
young for the Simpsons.
I
All
didn't watch Simpsons growing up. I got
I
in
see
once it
where
was
you are.
batched.
right.
Where are they on like season 78 at this point?
Yeah, I'm only 92. So what about you? What about you, Michael Long? You got do you have a YouTube channel, or you just
No, I don't do the YouTube channel stuff. I watch you guys and a few other Kane shows, but y'all
are
invited.
you on social media or anything? You got like a
No,
YouTube or a Twitter or anything like that?
No, I really don't do none of the social media stuff. I've
Well,
never
good for
liked
you,
it.
man. Good for you. That's a
I
smart
stay off
idea,
it,
man.
so.
That's a smart idea. Well, as
I'm a little bit older
as
than
a
you
fellow
guys.
Georgia resident, man, cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you. Thanks for jumping on with us too.
Hope to jump on with y'all more.
Hey, next week you wanna jump on here and chop it up with us? I'll drop the link again. You can join in with us.
Yes, sir. I'd like to do that with you guys. Like I said, I've really enjoyed it tonight and be able
wait.
to,
It'll be Alex. So for the next 2 weeks, I won't be here. Sorry to all you people who hate me, but you will not get to hate me for the next 2 weeks. But you can jump on here with Alex.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, that'd be
I like
fun.
talking Canes football. There's not too many people up here in my area that I can talk Canes football. It's always Georgia, Auburn, or somebody like that. They talk up.
Yeah, it
up
sucks, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
man, there's not even
you're
a
in
lot of people in
Columbus.
Miami you can talk Canes football with. No one cares down here.
No,
Yeah.
most of them would rather talk about the World Cup.
Now, when
But
I used to live down in Thomasville, that's like 30 minutes from Tallahassee, and I taught Canes football to a lot of Suckano fans. So,
Oh, I know where
Moultrie?
Thomasville is. I lived right outside of there in Moultrie for about 4 years.
oh, you did? I went to school with Charlie Ward.
I'm sorry.
oh, cool.
Yep. So yeah, I know exactly where you're from if you're from Moultrie.
Hey, wait.
I lived there for a
Brandon?
few years.
Yeah, I lived
I
there.
live
Yeah,
on top.
I lived.
I got you, Alex.
What did he say?
No, what do you got? Hurricane Central, Alex.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop my Twitter in the comments real quick.
Right, you
so
should, man.
follow that, and then Instagram, YouTube, and as for Rocky Top goes with his comment, my Pennsylvania ID says I can, so there's that.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't know, Alex is actually a model on Instagram. So
Yes.
make sure you follow his Instagram there. On
Same
Twitter as well. He is quite funny on there, and he is somewhat new to YouTube, but is growing fast. So please make sure you do follow Hurricane Central on YouTube as well, please.
I haven't been able to
show some
stream
support.
recently, but I'll try to get back into the groove of it.
I know.
Oh, look at this. Lenoris is done. We've lost 2 Miami Hurricane fans on this show.
No.
Wait. We're losing people?
Lenoris says, I've been a fan
wait.
since 86, and I'm done with the... Oh.
Oh man, Lenoris, dude. Come on now. Don't go dipping out yet, because in when we roll into Clemson on November 19th, and we just totally beat you. It just
We're gonna end that. stupid
yeah. We curb stomp them. I mean, it's gonna be like, finish him.
Well, see,
he's we're doing all that. You're gonna be right back on the train with us, man. Come on.
He's like the Miami fans in Miami. Like Hurricane Central just pointed out, you can't find any Miami fans there. Let them win 11 games, and Miami will be full of Miami fans.
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude.
definitely.
Dude, 2017 we were ranked number 3 in the country, and we sold out a noon game against freaking Virginia. A noon game against Virginia.
I know. Hey, Lenoris. Lenore,
We're messing
son.
with you in the
I'm
north.
mad. Don't worry. Just talking about feeling. We're right there with you, my friend. We're right there with you. It sucks to lose these stupid games. It sucks to be a shitty fucking football team. But here we are, and this is what we got. So we're making light of it and having a good time, man. Thanks for tuning in. Really, thanks for tuning in.
Also, I find it so funny how Seminole fans just use the shish kebab emoji because there's no spear, just a little thought.
I know we do have our own emoji, which is kind of cool.
Oh, now they're talking about kicking me off the show. I'll leave. That's fine.
Oh, bye, Slim.
They put a laughing face in there. They're just
I know. I'm playing.
352 UKs. Yeah. We love you too, man. You can't get rid of Slim. He ain't going nowhere.
I'm like a bad penny. I'm just gonna keep turning up.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Down. He's doubling down.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. All right. Before I start saying things I shouldn't say on Mark Rogers' channel, I think we need to close this up. Hurricane Central. So you dropped your links to your cool stuff. Make sure you follow him on YouTube. We do actually jump on his channel sometimes and do some, fun Miami talk, usually on a Wednesday or Thursday night. So make sure you subscribe to him and hit that bell notification so you know when we are live there, because we do have a good time.
Hey, we talk Miami. We talk crappy cruise ships. We talk all other college football.
All kinds of nonsense. And if you got any desire to watch stupid travel videos, late night trivia streams, or just see cool stuff on Twitter posts and stuff like that, follow Traveling Fools. My wife and I, we put a lot of work into our content, and yeah, we'd love to have your support as well. So that being said, Traveling Fools, YouTube, Twitter, Slim Shady Canes, follow him on YouTube.
Oh no, he's not Slim Shady. According to 352, he's Slim Shitty.
Yeah, Slim Shitty Canes. But yeah, you can probably find out Slim Shady. But you can troll him in his comments. He loves a good troll. But
absolutely. Because see, what that guy doesn't know, but he will soon find out, because he'll keep watching. He will keep watching all of these videos. And what he will figure out is, sir, I don't have any feelings to hurt.
Yeah, it's nice being like unhurtable. It's kind of a good feeling.
It is going to be a bloodbath, but we're going to drop 70 on Clemson, 69-0. Book it.
Oh yeah, Clemson doesn't stand a chance. They couldn't even like Rudy was off sides, and they still couldn't even get.
Rudy was so off.
7 points. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Voice of College Football Miami post-game show. We've had a great time with all of you being here. Thanks so much for all your support. I won't be here for the next 2 weeks, but I will be back, and these guys are going to take care of you, and we're going to have fun. And we're always going to be smiling. Honestly. And like Coach Coop would say, at the end of the day, it's always good to be a fan of the Miami Hurricanes or support the U, whatever the hell he says. But like that, we're going out.